check this out. At the end of last year, I was invited to make my own, have a book recommendation shelf at this independent bookstore in my city. As you guys know, or may not know, I am in Huntsville, Alabama. Yes, where they filmed that show at. And yes, I seen them people around here sometimes. But I am in Huntsville, Alabama. And the bookstore is an independent bookstore called Burnwater Books. The proprietor, I just want to use that word, is a guy named Joshua. And I've been going to his shop recently a lot more, ordering books, some pre-ordering books, and he just asked me, do you want to, he invited me actually to make a bookshelf with recommendations of books that I've read, and first I was timid because I'm I don't know, I'm not the most scholarly or intellectual person, I can't deconstruct the Toni Morrison novel like you experts out there, but I said, this is cool. I generally feel like the booktuber person that doesn't get those type of notices or whatnot. So I was like, well, maybe it is time for me to do this. So what I'm doing today is I'm sharing the books that I put on that recommendation list. And of course, he sent me an image. I seen him Thursday when I was picking up my copy of The Hobbit, a hardcover edition. And I seen him Thursday, and he was getting the recommendation shelf built. The books were coming in, and I said, if you get it set up, the sooner you set it up, send me an image of it, and he did, and I'll share that here in a minute. But it's cool. Like, Troi got a recommendation shelf at a bookstore. Like, what? Like, how in the freak did this happen? But yeah, I'm grateful. I'm trying to. This is the year of yes. Once again. It's always be a year, yes. So anyway, I just want to share the books that I put on that recommendation list and maybe share just like a glimmer as to why I chose the books. It's not full at the moment. There's some more recommendations, but it's still a good start. And I want to make sure that I plug Joshua's shop down below and you guys check it out. It's in the Low Mill Center, which is like this big epic art center that we like to go to, with over 152 or so studios, lots of artists, wonderful place, especially if you want to get like some craft vegan boutique soap and stuff like that. I love it like that. So anyway, the first book that I put on their recommendation was actually Glory Be by Danielle Archino. Sorry. So yeah, at the time when I was making that list, or I want to use the word curating that list, I just want to use it because I feel all fancy now. This was a book that I had recently read, and I really did share with you guys about this book. You know what I'm saying? Like in a previous video, we have a late middle-aged late middle-aged black woman solving this crime involving a friend of hers who was murdered, who happened to be a sister with a very gritty past. But yeah, Glory Be, it's in a mystery genre, but I just thought it was a fresh voice to add to the list. And like I said, or expressed in that video, I love the southern drawl and humor that's tied into it. Although, the lady going through her purse got on my nerves. So I put Glory Be just to make sure there was a bit of a newer, fresher, new mystery that's on their recommendation list. So hopefully somebody will buy it out there. I'm going to alphabetical order. And then, of course, I put Viola Davis's Finding Me on the list, which I read going on 2 years now. This needs very little explanation. Of course, I love Viola Davis. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's a great actress. And honestly, when I read a biography by an actual celebrity, it's generally to try to pull some inspiration from the book, some self-fulfilling inspiration. And of course, I received that here in Viola Davis's Finding Me. So this is another one that I added on the list, and I actually saw that in the image that he sent me. So yay, yay. Next, I did add Madness by Antonia I keep saying her name, Houghton, but the subtitle is The Race and Insanity in the Jim Crow Asylum. You guys, I've been speaking about this. This is so fresh that I have been talking about this in the past 2 or 3 videos, so I don't want to go into any further details, but I'm happy that this is on the list because I think that this book, as a new book that came out in 2024, needs to be on somebody's end cap, okay? It needs to be a little bit more prominent on a lot of end caps. So I'm glad it happened. I'm glad I could make that happen at this independent bookstore. So thank you again, Joshua, for that offering. Then I put The Prophet by Robert Jones Jr. on the list. As you guys know, this has to do with these 2 black men who form a relationship in a barn during the days of slavery. And of course, that's taboo and a whole different, it's just a all the way out in the stratosphere kind of taboo. But although this was not one of my favorite books of 2021, I still like I guess when we speak of the term taboo, when we speak of the time period and this relationship, I still like like just that opportunity to actually find what that experience was like for gay black men who just happened to be attracted to one another back in these days. If I recall, there was a bit of magical realism toward the end that really kind of put me off, but other than that, it was a very gripping and exciting read because you just never knew when the other shoe was going to drop in terms of when their relationship was going to be discovered inside of the barn. So I did put the Prophets up there. I would love to read that book, something about sweet in the water in the sweet, something like that, which I think tackles the same sort of theme or setup when we concern two men, black men, gay in the South during I think this was during World War II in that particular, or during the Civil War, in that particular book. But the Prophets, I wanted to add just the extra pinch of diversity onto that list, and I think that this will be a good fresh one to get into for the guys at the shop. And then of course I put Light Seekers by Femi Coyote. I'm so sorry if I said the name wrong, but of course this is the first book in his Philip Tao Nigerian psychological thriller mystery series. I've spoken about this book and the previous book, Gaslight, before. You are encouraged to check out my video on Gaslight, and you will kind of fall back and find why I like this book so much that I had to recommend it as well. So Light Seekers is definitely on that list. Another little bit of African mystery, that sort of thing. And then the next book that I added onto the list, of course, had to be a Leonard. I say Leonard, but I know it's Leonard, but I don't know why I like to pronounce that out, but Leonard, here you go. We'll just give it to you easy. Leonard Pitts Jr.'s The Last Thing You Surrender. This was a book that was presented on was a reading recommended by Dee at Brown reading for a hashtag Read So Lit back in 2020. I don't know why I'm getting all fumbled up here. And it was an absolute impressive read. This author, just his skill when it comes to visualization and immersing readers into his stories is just incredible. I still got a lot of catching up to do with some of his work, but I think I read probably about one other by him. And still thoroughly impressed with this book that I had to. Like, this is a book that I tell everybody to pick up, to be honest with you. So I'll leave the details about the book out. I think Dee actually kind of went over this recently, so I'll invite you to go check out her channel because she's better at articulating the many feels and vibes that come out of reading this book and the experience that it brings upon thy soul once completed. There we go. I know how to put some stuff in there, but yeah, I want more people to read more of him, so I said let me make sure I put him on that list. And the final book, of course, is Cicely Tyson's Just As I Am, which I read when I had an issue getting it when it first came out, and then I eventually got it for my birthday, and then all the, there's water under the bridge. Anyway, love this book, love Cicely Tyson. Once again, if I'm reading a celebrity autobiography or biography, is generally to find or tap into some inspiration for my own internal soul and spirit to keep going in this thing called life. And I found a lot of that in here. And I mean, there's a lot that can be addressed, but I think the primary thing that I left reading this book with was just the fact that Cicely Tyson started her career not in her younger years, but like in middle age, and it just kind of gave me that bit of hope. Like, okay, well, you have to keep going. Anything is possible. You have to keep going and, never give up on yourself. So that's one of the things that I took from this book. And of course, I want more people to read Cicely Tyson's Just As I Am. So that is it. I thank Joshua for giving me the opportunity to make a recommendation and cap. I did put some more. I got Nadine Matheson I mentioned. I did mention Tanana Reeves Dews on the Reformatory on that list. So, but those haven't came in, and it's all good though. This is a good start. So yeah, I can't believe what I got a recommendation shelf. Somebody who don't even like to use the word recommendation, because I'd be like, y'all read whatever y'all want. I'm just telling you how I feel. But just all the same, yeah, it's great. I just feel like I'm the booktuber that don't get stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm too oddball for it, but it's a good thing. So I thank you guys. I do encourage you guys to please check out Joshua's shop down below. I put all the links to Burnwater Books, both in the terms of the actual website as well as through bookshop.org, which he taught me about. And yeah, Just check them out. That's what I'm here for. And hey, check them out. And say, if you buy something, say Troi sent you. Right? Now, I don't get anything from this, but I'm just saying. Bye.